What it do? Yo man, listen. Today, I'm gonna be talking about the safest characters to invest in Tacticus. Let's get right into the video. First things first, meta chasing is hard in any game. This is not exclusive to Tacticus. With the release of one character, everything can change. Mech team wasn't good, they released Eldryon, it became the best thing in the game. They might release a multi-hit character or a buffer in some sorts, and then Ragnar Black main comps might become the best in the game. Maybe they release a character that gives Neurotrope extra hits, then he becomes the best thing in the game. So, what I mean by safest characters is, what are the characters that are least likely to get impacted by these changes? And which characters would you not be wasting resources if you were to invest in them? Well, essentially future-proof characters. So, unsurprisingly, the first one is Eldryon. He's the best character in the game. His passive is very impactful. It's a very strong passive, as everybody knows. It's a horse has been beaten to a pulp at this point. Now, for Eldryon to fall out of meta, Snowprint has to release something that is ludicrously strong. And to be fully honest, I don't think they're gonna do that for a long time. Because we have a lot of teams, and Eldryon is a big part of all of them. Even the Neurotrope team that doesn't love using Eldryon can use him and have relative success. So I don't think Eldryon is going to fall out of meta anytime soon. However, another character that has been falling out of meta recently is Bellator. Now, with the release of the Eldryon and the how powerful the mechanical team is, he has been kind of falling out of favor against certain bosses and guild raids because Eldryon just does what he does better. However, despite that, Bellator is a very good character. He's good for multiple campaigns. He's good for, a lot of raid teams. Just because he doesn't do the top damage doesn't mean he's a bad character. He's still very good. The reason he's falling out of favor is because there is a much better team. But because there's a much better team doesn't mean he's bad. He's still good for legendary release events, and most importantly of all, everybody has him. I mean, you have him, the person who just starts the game has him, so I think he's one of the better characters to invest in, because the return in investment you get from him, from legendary release events and guild raids, it's very valuable. Another character that's very good on legendary release events is Isabella. Now, in my opinion, she's only useful in legendary release events. However, legendary release events give you legendary characters. So if there's Karn is really good. Karn has guild raid uses. He's good in tournament arena. He's good in guild wars. And Isabella facilitates you getting these new characters, which is very important. So I think she's a very safe investment because legendary release events, I don't think they're going anywhere. I think they're here to stay. So a character that exists to help you unlock legendary characters is a pretty good investment. Now, Actus, currently he's one of the best characters in the game, and he's a top tier guild raid character. I've been saying this about Actus ever since he released. He will always be good. He will always be as good as the best mechanical character in the game. So, if all the mechanical characters in the game are bad, then Actus is bad. Or if the strongest character in the game is a mechanical character, then Actus is one of the strongest characters in the game. Because his passive essentially makes it so, the mechanical character takes one more turn every turn. So Revas, who has 9 hits, essentially gets... So you essentially have 2 Revas. Revi? I don't know, English is hard. No, so I think Actus is a very safe investment, especially because every time Snowprint releases a mechanical character, he just gets better. So let's say the mech team falls out of favor, something else becomes meta, and then they release another mechanical character that's super good, well then Actus becomes super good again. So I think Actus is a very, very safe bet. He does require you to have other mechanical characters, but I mean, that's not a lot to ask. Now, I put Maladus here because it would appear very tone deaf if I said, oh, get Rothbone, oh, get Karn the Betrayer, because those are very difficult to get. Now, Maladus is, most people have him. You get him through guild raids and whatnot. Killing bosses give you a little bit of shards, so most of you are going to have him at some point. He's good for legendary release events. He's chaos, so I felt like the urge to put him because there wasn't going to be any other chaos character. Rothbone is good for legendary release events. If you have him, you should invest in him. Karn, like I said, is good for PvP, PvE, legendary release events. He's just a really good character all around. Just because he's not top tier guild raid meta doesn't mean he's a bad character. So any of these three, investing in them is a very safe bet. They're very useful characters. They will help you unlock characters in the future, which is very valuable in case we get like a, crazy good legendary release event character. The last one is the Biovore. Now, I do understand that this kind of contradicts what I say about him. I've been telling people you don't really need to invest in him because he's pure utility, which is true. You don't need to invest in the Biovore to reap the benefits of the character. However, you investing in him helps a lot. So at max rank, which is level 50 passive and legendary 1-star, his Spore Mines, they get 2,000 health, which is nothing. And they do around 6,000 toxic damage. That is so much damage, especially when you're using multiple munitions, like in a guild raid. You summon 3 Spore Mines, and if the boss can't kill them, that really adds up, which is non-trivial damage. It does more damage than the Forge Fiend that you have to spend, right? But it is what it is. I do think Gladine is releasing right now. I see that. However, I think this guy is still good because he does do non-trivial damage, and he provides so much utility that I think he's a good investment. Anyways, that's the video. Bloody Rose Discord server, link in the description. You should join. It's a good place. We'll chat. It'll be fun. Thank you very much for watching the video. Special thanks to Dieselclocks, Papa John, Lita Lama, Sarp, Heartswept, Ascaleon, Yeris, Bruce Makes Soup, Prosan, Infinite Power, Use Alt F4, Cinnamon Prophet for entering my referral code. It genuinely means a lot to me that you've done this. It's a great way to support the channel. The code's in the middle of the screen. If you want to enter it, you get 100 Blackstone, and it benefits me greatly. So, once again, thank you very much for watching my video. Have a good day, and stay safe.